Split race.
Time for a fun. This is double speed.
Engage.
Awaken. Creation.
Component damage.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Split race. Component damage.
Time for a fun. This is double speed. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Time for a fun. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Time for fun. Creation. Double speed. Awaken. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. The third to last line means someone's slacking off right now. Huh? to last line? More Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. So you are afraid of me. I'll end your misery. Protect everyone too. How was your plan?
All will be revealed. A lurid flame.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I want to protect everyone too! Help me with your job! Lend me your strength!
Tedious. All will be revealed.
I'll free you from your chains! Disappear among the sea of butterflies! Illusions of the past! You'll pay for this. Of you. Don't mess with me. I'll end your misery. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I want to protect everyone too! Help me with your job! I'll free you from your chains! Disappear among the sea of butterflies! Illusions of the past! There's always a weakness. Lend me your strength!
Stand down. All will be revealed.
So you are afraid of me. I'll end your misery.
Target threat index lowered. Hide.
Don't mess with me.
Ready for death? soon to be departed.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I want to protect everyone too! Help me, Mr. Storm! I'll free you from your chains! Disappear among the sea of butterflies! Illusions of the past! Lend me your strength!
Tedious. All will be revealed.
Mortality reigns forever.
I'll end your misery. I need to be brave. Don't mess with me.
Blade fodder. The end of it.
Don't get complacent.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I want to protect everyone too, Mr. Storm!
Eternal sleep is not the end.
Lend me your strength.
All will be revealed.
I need to be brave.
You chose the wrong enemy.
I'll never forget you. This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength.
Nowhere to run. All will be revealed. Stand down.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Ready for
We've
death.
entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I'm not afraid of you!
Don't get complacent.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Eternal sleep.
I want to protect everyone. Help me with your charm! This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength.
Tedious. All will be revealed. Your flame.
Needs to be breathed.
Annihilate.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Subdue.
I'll never forget you. I want to protect everyone too. Help me with your charm.
Suppress. Caught in the web.
Eternal sleep.
You'll pay for this.
I'll see you off.
Target threat index lowered. Hide.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. I'm not afraid of you.
Annihilate.
Copy.
Right.
I'm afraid. I want to protect everyone. Help me with your charm. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Suppress. Threat wheel of karma.
Receive divinity.
Resistance is tiny. Unscathed.
Eternal sleep.
I need to be brave.
I'll see you off.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Annihilate.
Time to change tactics. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength.
Component damage. Subdue.
This battle is unavoidable. As one. So you are afraid of me. This combat needs optimizing. Double speed. Creation! Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Yin and yang.
Suppress. Caught in the web.
strength!
By the 10 more.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Surrender.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. What a headache. Next. I'll into misery. one's hexachromatic position is always in flux. Next. Double speed.
Wheel of Karma.
All things shift in divination. useless, Doggy. Shouldn't take too much. Hello, let's get the Ten Lords commission. Yeah. Huh?
Yo, why the exhaustion?
I'm sleepy.
Every time I see our follower count increase.
Wow, aren't you lucky? Sushong, you slept. Catching ghosts is a night job. That's the Celestial Jade player over at Exalting Sanctum. When even a judge. Who is this exactly?
It's this girl. Here, look at this. my job
Miss Sushang, the description in this comment, you're right. Maybe. That's a good idea. We should send a...
Notification sent. I guess now we should go to the Divination Commission and see what's going on.
But let's talk to Cirrus again first. So, you imprint. It would seem the Ten Lords Commission has everything under control. Outside the confines of our agreement, you would be unwise. One victory equals one question. Don't forget the agreement. Don't be so sure of victory before the battle begins, young one. But you know, if you can accept me with an open heart, of course. That's what I wanted to hear. Oh? The fact that you're trying so hard to persuade me means that you're not. If you were, you'd have devoured us without hesitation. Am I right? Then have it your way. I'll destroy you. Don't let your previous victory go to your heads. The slightest misstep will be your undoing. Let's see how you perform without the general here to watch your back. I will never rest. Your mortal bodies will fatigue and breathe their last breath. Then I will endure. We did it! Ask your question. We think the Divination Commission has been infiltrated by Heliobus, but we don't know which one. Entering the Xianzhou's window to the future, it must be none other than... Kiraloom. They always relished hounding your prophets and seers with questions of destiny, watching them flounder between the random and the preordained. But in warfare, it is said that during that fateful battle, Kiraloom had a premonition of failure, but Ignomar ignored their warnings. It looks like we have a clear target this time. Let's get going. I may not have the same predictive power as Kiraloom, little fox girl. But one thing I do know is that sooner or later you will beg for my help. Time will tell.
remnants of the past.
Double speed. All things shift in divination. Oh, you're here. Is that a 10 lord? Something's amiss in the divination. I'm afraid not, Miss Jingtre.
Well, anyway.
Good idea. With working, I heard from Alway that the Artisanship Commission... In that case, it doesn't seem like a... I mean, you could leave. Yeah. Besides, you guys... What's going on? Stay close to me. What are they looking? Is everyone...
There's only divination is...
How did the Matrix of Prescience become like this? Look, Diviner Fu is standing at the center of the Matrix of... Judging by her chanting, I think she's performing navigation, but something's not right. A heliobus? I read about them in a book. Starfire, how can we snap her out of it? We could try ringing the harmonic chime. Silence! Idle chatter is not permitted in the Divination Commission. Master Diviner! You're awake! Or perhaps we should call you Caroloom. It doesn't matter what you call me. I am the master of the Divination Commission. The current divination has reached a delicate stage, and no one is permitted to disturb it. Not even a judge of the 10 Lords Commission or a guest from the Astral Express. Qingchui, I have grown weary of your insubordination. Are you the one who brought these outsiders into the commission? Have you turned a deaf ear to all the rules I've laid down? Qingchui, you are hereby expelled from the commission. That's...
Darn! Now we're down one person.
A great idea! My days here really have been unproductive, loafing around outside and playing Celestial Jade, all while taking a Divination Commission salary. It's... how to put it?
That's not quite the right way to describe it.
I would call it... wasting my life away. Thank you, Master Diviner, for giving me the push I needed. Since you feel that my skills could be put to better use elsewhere, it's time for me to think about making some changes. But before I leave, I have to help these guests take care of some trouble here at the Commission. If I don't, people will think I was fired because of cowardice in the face of danger. What next? What do we do now? Giving a dramatic speech to my boss was cool and everything, but it's not gonna help her break free from the heliobus clouding her mind. I'm not sure what to do. The heliobus isn't trying to trap us inside the illusion, and it doesn't look interested in attacking us either. Clouding my mind? I've never been of clearer mind than I am right now. From now on, I will dedicate myself to defining the predetermined futures of the Xianzhou Alliance, and will make these futures known to the world so that all can live in clarity. I know what you want to say. Spare me the lecture on human wisdom prevailing over nature and those ridiculous notions of free will. You are nothing more than a pawn at the mercy of the Stellaron hunters. What day you boarded the Express, who your enemies are, where you go. These choices that you think you make freely of your own accord are mere tributaries that will eventually converge on the path of destiny. Your journey to the Xianzhou, the defeat of Fantilia, all these were written into a script long ago by that slave to destiny, hidden in the shadows. Even in this very moment, your options are few. Ready your bat and charge at me. Argue with me loudly and futilely, or fall into silence.
Don't let her words get to you. There are always other options.
The rise and fall of the tides are dictated by the fire trigram and the water trigram. You are powerless against such a... Venting your anger is meaningless. Anger cannot change that which is already ordained by destiny. All offense, no defense.
Is that your strategy?
Your attacks won't land on me. Only on these innocent puppets.
We're on a roll.
If you are still not convinced, then follow.
What is this? This place is what the Divination Commission calls the Pathfinder. It's a sandbox game that diviners use to simulate future paths and exercise our minds.
That's right. Now listen, but you're probably thinking, humans are not... And yet, machines we are. We are just like the Ingenium in this maze. We have no Let's begin.
It feels like we're dancing.
Let's begin.
We did it!
Well done. Your choices are as the Omnicia foresaw them. You should know that
Yes, for a puzzle that was designed from the start, choosing any other path would be a pointless mistake. But the universe isn't someone's game, and no one is designing puzzles for us to solve. The universe, even if it's the same work every day, I can hide in the library and read a book, or find someone to play Celestial Jade with. And that's freedom.
I never thought slacking off could convince me of anything. The sign of a true scholar. A diviner of the Divination Commission, after all.
Ugh! Sushang, snap out of it! A slacker heliobus is getting into your head.
Qingque. For you, life may have a seemingly infinite number of choices. That is because your choices are simply different ways of slacking off and wasting time. They are of no consequence to anything. But for me, choices come with very real consequences.
That's the most divinery thing you've said so far.
As the Master Diviner of the Luofu, I have a heavy responsibility. I must comb through the complex threads of destiny day after day, all for the preservation of this giant ship. Some paths look promising, but lead to an abyss of despair.
Then there are small trails that plunge deep into unimaginable darkness. And in the end, I realize that we have no real choices. There is only one path to follow, only one way to the optimal solution, even if it is paved with ashes and bitterness. There is only one way, and there only ever was.
What do we do? I don't think we can persuade her.
I have a proposal. Why don't we try a more advanced sandbox? However long you want to play this game, and whatever tricks you try to pull, I'll happily play along.
Miss Jingtre!
Use your free will to guide the Ingenium out of the sandbox. Let's begin. Changed slightly, but it was just as simple. I'm sure the Master Diviner would say. Destiny only has one path. Your choices are just a predetermined solution to the puzzle. Actually, I don't think I agree. Master Diviner, let's reset the sandbox and give it another go, shall we? Again? Do it all over again exactly as it was? You can try it 1,000,000 times over, and 1,000,000 times over it is doomed to the same fate, because there is only one path. I see what you're thinking, Qingque. You're an interesting one.
Qingque, I've been thinking through the calculations for this puzzle. There really is only one solution.
This maze was designed by Caroloom. It's no use. There aren't any other solutions. As long as we're playing this so-called game of destiny, we can't win.
No, there's a second choice. There will always be another choice.
Miss Trailblazer, quick, say something to persuade her. I didn't mean like that.
Ready to begin? Of course there's another solution to this sandbox. Listen to my idea. You're all gonna help, right? Correct.
Miss Qingtre, I don't know how you're planning to solve the puzzle, but I'll support this squad to the end.
Count me in. I'm sure Miss Qingque has something up her sleeve.
If we can help, I'm in.
I only need 2 people for my plan to work. You go stand in the sandbox. Right about that spot over there. Next, Judge Huohuo, you stand on the other side of the room. And stop shaking. All right, we're ready. And now, the second. Let's begin. is the other solution. The alternative choice. I created a new solution. Master Diviner, you're not the only one who can design a puzzle. And I don't tread the path of destiny alone.
You think that by calling on your companions for help, you created a new path out of thin air? You're just playing with semantics. I could weave 1,000 routes for you, but they lead to the same destination. So what significance is there in having a choice?
Creatures like you don't understand humans. The universe is like jade tiles on a game table. When the tiles are shuffled, the outcome is already predetermined. Which tiles can be played, which tiles are left over, what kind of hand the person next to you is trying to make. All of these can be determined through calculations. But if everything is just a calculation, the game loses its flavor. Randomness and adaptability, ambushing your opponent, twists and turns, the balance of the elements. It's a mix of calculations, unknowns, and loss of complete control that makes Celestial Jade the kind of game it is. And those are the same things that give life its color and vibrance. Do my choices at the game table mean nothing if I have a sure loss in front of me? No! The choices are what make the game meaningful in the first place. Even if I lose, I'll still make choices to lighten the loss. Just like the Master Diviner is making choices for her own agenda. You were right when you said that as Master Diviner, you must comb through the complex threads of destiny day after day, all for the preservation of this giant ship. In this vast universe, a game where there are only losers, our Master Diviner is making endless choices, fighting against the odds just so the Lawfu can travel safely for another day. In my book, she's the best player there is. Why would someone as talented as the Master Diviner go through the trouble of making endless choices if the end result is predetermined? Heliobus, you cannot fathom the joys of humanity. You are imprisoned by the illusion of destiny, unable to free yourself. And you want everyone who peeks into the future to suffer the same pain as you. You don't understand humans at all.
Don't let them trick you, Fu Xuan! Don't push me away! Don't let her words fool you!
Kiriloom, release the Master Diviner!
I see through your trickery! I see through every bit of it! I'm going to lose! Victory is beyond my reach! Why? Why is there no alternative? Everything in this universe is predetermined! No! I have no path to victory.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Awaken! All things must be creation! Master Diviner! Are you all right?
I'm fine. Just a small headache, nothing more.
It's normal to experience some discomfort after being possessed by a heliobus, but nothing a few medicinal pellets can't take care of.
Is that Carolum? They may not be the most powerful fragment, but becoming entangled in their illusion can lead to endless despair.
Hurry! Just hurry up and seal me in the darkness. I've foreseen what happens next. You're going to imprison me.
Qingque, thanks to you, the Divination Commission is safe again.
No need to thank me, Master Diviner. By the way, while you were possessed, you fired me from the commission. So that counts, right? I'll have to ask you to give me written notice that my contract's been unilaterally terminated. Then, with all the years I've spent in the Divination Commission, I'll be able to get a great severance package. And I already planned what to do with all the money. I'm gonna open a gaming parlor, hire a couple of workers to run it, and spend the rest of my days living off the profits. I'll have started a new life without having lifted a finger.
Are there two Qingques?
I see. What a pity. I don't recall anything I may or may not have said while possessed by the heliobus. In any case, Qingque, why are you still here? Shouldn't you be on duty back at the repository?
Huh? Master Diviner, you can't back out now!
Of course I can. After all, there are always choices in life. You taught me that.
I can't convince real you, let alone possessed you. Master Diviner, you should get some rest. I'm gonna go take a get back to work.
My actions today brought great shame on the Divination Commission. I shall have to think of a way to keep her from talking. Just kidding.
Heliobi are good at finding people's weaknesses and exploiting them. Everyone has some kind of weakness. You're not to blame.
That's right. You were just a victim of the heliobus's trickery, Diviner Fu. No need to blame yourself.
I must express my sincere gratitude to all of you for your help. Apologies, but the Divination Commission is in disarray at the moment. I must return and set things in order. I'm afraid I cannot see you off in person.
Wait! There's something we need to ask you.
What is it? I agree that the Master Diviner gets possessed wouldn't make for a good headline. I don't care how you spin the story, so long as you leave my name and identity out of it. I have many things to attend to. Please allow me to save my thanks for another day.
We won't delay you any longer. We need to go to Fictional Garden and see.
In order to catch
Hey!
Just as I thought.
It seems that your operations have met with some success. I've been browsing through some of the stories on Ghostly Grove myself. They make for good reading. As the saying goes, serious divination concerns serious matters. It is inevitable that someone performing divination day in and day out for the Cienjo would acquire inner demons, and Heliobus can take advantage of those. Fortunately, with your help, Fu Shren prevailed over her intruder. Do you enjoy listening to storytellers and watching immersion? In both cases, tales have a predetermined ending. But you shouldn't let that stop you from enjoying them, should you? The same is true of life. Whether the end is predestined or not, it's worth living. Very well then. Miss Hanya is waiting for you by the suppression towers.
in order to catch you. Run.
behalf of the Ten Lords Commission, I commend you for your great service in resolving the Divination Commission crisis. I will honor all of you before the Ten Lords.
Thanks, Madame Hanya. But, we really couldn't have defeated Carolyn without Miss Jean-Trey's help.
I didn't realize that one as skilled as Diviner Fu would also be susceptible to the power of the Heliobi. That said, I can understand her plight. After all, we're all moving. Judges are instructed by the Ten Lords to carry out their orders, but no one ever explains their meaning to us. Just like the Master Diviner, no matter what cruel and horrible paths she foresaw, as long those choices may be correct and far-sighted, but we are, after all, flesh and blood.
Madame Hanya?
I apologize. I was getting carried away. I think all the paperwork must have worn down my mental acuity.
Right. Let's call.
It's finally time to get back to bed. Goodbye,
double speed.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
One's hexachromatic position is always in flux. Planning is paramount.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
One's hexagrammatic position is always in flux. Planning is paramount. Plumes on top. Put the mountain underneath.
I don't think searching.
Diner haunted. Evil spirit breaks into restaurant and eats double its body weight in food.
Sounds like a very hungry criminal came up with a very poor excuse.
What about this one? Paranormal activity reported at exclusive horror immersia. Guest 6. It reminds me of when I used to watch horror immersia to train my courage. Whenever there was a suspenseful moment, Tail would jump up and scare me.
Guys, I feel like this is just some sort of prank, or a marketing stunt to boost ticket sales. Huahua has been browsing Ghostly Grove for hours. Every time she finds a suspicious incident, she says, "Do you think Tail did this?" Problem is, any suspicious incident could be Tail-related when you think about it.
I feel like Tail is still around. Oh, but if so, why didn't he come back to see me?
That's right. We can't really know what a Heliobus is thinking, right? Tail was sealed away for ages and then suddenly let free. If it were me, I'd want some away time. You'll just have to be a little patient. Anyway, even if you don't find Tail, you're still a great judge. The success of our ghost hunting squad proves it.
Thank you, Miss Gwei. I don't really get compliments. Without the encouragement of you squad members, working with you guys has made me feel a little more confident. Oh, but it's hard not to think about the days when Tail was still around. Back then, I was a useless coward. I'd hide at the first sign of trouble. Tail would always complain about it, but he'd also get me out of danger.
Reminds me of me and my brother. Sort of a love-hate relationship.
Hey, look at this!
Did you find Tail?
Hey, look at this!
Is this something?
Tail or no tail, it's definitely the work of a Heliobus.
Let's hurry up and get to the scene. There'll be trouble to pay if we're too late.
Be careful, everyone.
I just learned a new technique. I'll use it to end your life.
Unauthorized personnel should keep their distance.
Actually, we're...
Is that Sushang? And a judge?
It's a very long story, so...
Let's Mr. Cloud Knight, sir. The 10...
Understood.
Don't worry. This...
See you like this.
Double speed. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Awaken. Creation.
Judge Huahua, is he alright?
His life isn't in danger, but his hands and feet are spasming, and his speech is incoherent. I think he's experiencing a delusion.
I feel like...
Mr. Cloud Knight, sir.
I feel... My weapon suddenly started talking to me? It taught me fighting techniques. Which moves to avoid, which moves to use, which stances to adopt to retain balance. Then it told me to relax.
That sounds just like...
I followed its instructions. It was only then that I realized there was a sword-wielding child beside me.
Lots of children grow up learning to use...
I sure hope we're not thinking...
I realized the boy was the general's retainer, Yen Qing. When I heard my sword say the name, I was in disbelief.
Are you alright? You should be asking the Cloud Knight.
What happened next was even more outlandish. Yen Qing looked like he was talking to the sword in his hand. He turned around and left without looking back. And my weapon never spoke again.
Not good.
I'll take care of the Cloud Knight. You go after Yen Qing.
It's Yen Qing's sword. I saw him wield it one time when I was doing drills with the Cloud Knights. I heard that Yen Qing's sword is a famous weapon crafted by the Artisanship Commission. It resonates with its master, reacting to his movements in battle like it has a mind of its own. He must have encountered some kind of danger, and his sword flew away to find someone to help, right?
Danger?
I'm not sure, but the Heliobi are strange creatures. Even the sharpest sword can't cut them.
Uh-oh.
If it's not auspicious, you'd best not say it out loud.
Based on what that Cloud Knight said, it isn't that Yen Qing's in danger. Exactly.
Follow the sword. No matter what, we... This is the dock for Dragon Prayer Terrace. Judging by the sword's behavior...
Should we really be charging over there? It's scared, but I am.
The General has been supporting our ghost hunting squad from... Even if it wasn't. Sushang, Miss Guan... Yen Qing is at Dragon Prayer...
all these swords doing in Dragon Prayer Terrace?
It must be. Shouldn't we ring the harmonic chime and see if we can talk to Yenching inside the illusion?
Illusion? Since each of you can see it, wouldn't that mean you'd... Don't be alarmed. To me, this sword formation is a precious arsenal. When I gaze upon anyone, and better yet, they welcome those who wish to pursue higher realms with open arms. The General? You lie! I've already finished my assignment at the Alchemy Commission. This is my own time. I came here to learn from Master Apira. To learn from these...
Apira? That Helio?
Correct. Master Apira promised to show me the flaws in my swordplay, and had to take it to the next level. That's why I brought them the dragon...
Young one, whether it be Imbibed or Lunae, the Stellaron Hunters or that woman, your accomplishments will exceed them. You will be matchless, without limits.
Matchless without limits. You're just in time. The swords have taught me something already. I'd like to see how sharp my skills have become. My skills are lacking. I've been through countless defeats. But with Apira as my master, no longer.
Why is he attacking us?
Don't mess with me.
Can I have fun this time?
Wait for the tower.
What a headache. Who's next? All into misery.
More enemies. Time for fun.
All free. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
The sword fight must be fought with some sick...
Lieutenant Yenching, snap out of it.
But I want to fight you! And we're just getting started. Ha! Their skills are nothing compared to mine. What can I look... Hack them down? I thought we were just sparring.
The laws of the battlefield are no different from the laws of the universe. Life for victory, and death for defeat. Swordsmanship is the art of victory.
But...
You're resisting me? Rid yourself of these needless notions.
Life for victory and death for defeat, huh? All this talk of laws of the battlefield and the universe. You think that gives the appearance of a Grand Master? This Xuan Yuan sword in my hand has been passed down through my family for generations. When my mother gave it to me, she said, the bread may bake, but the heart remains. And for today, I just realized I misheard her. I think she actually said, the edge may break, but the heart remains. Probably. The Lieutenant Yenching, the winner and loser of this battle, have yet to be determined. Don't give me that there is no point in fighting any longer speech.
This little wench's fighting spirit is on fire. Young one, since she insists on fighting...
I won't...
Mr. Shang, you...
This is between fellow Cloud Knights. Losing a fight isn't... Granted, I might not last more than a few moves. You guys go get the General, quickly! I'll try and hold him off until he gets...
Shang. Still,
A spiritfarer told me that the general, I think, the only one that can break Yenjing.
Is something the matter? A heliobus that creates illusions for the sole purpose of instructing someone in swordplay.
General, we need to move fast. If we...
I can understand your sense of urgency. But before I leave, have a...
Naturally, among the Heliobi, Pyra manifests the courage and warring spirit of Ignimar. They are the most aggressive.
My apprentice.
No wonder I smell a hint of sadness in you. In order to rescue...
You know the flavor of sadness, but not its meaning. An apprentice obsessed with victory and defeat has lost his mind to a heliobus and is now trying to shortcut his way to mastery of the sword. This is my failure to him.
Then you should hurry. Pyra has an insatiable bloodlust. Once they've... Go! I don't wish to delay your death match with...
Su Shang is awaiting.
Lieutenant of the Seat of Divine Foresight. Is that the best you can do? And I was thinking I'd be done for the moment you drew your sword. I didn't think I would last this long. I'm not half as bad as I thought.
Young one, you're hesitating again. You're always hesitating. Your opponent is no match for you, yet they have managed to fend you off for this long. As a swordsman, have you not any pride? Do you want to repeat the disaster you suffered at Dragon Prayer Terrace? It's time to finish it. Only blood can cleanse the shame of the sword.
He won't do it.
General.
Young one, your old teacher has arrived. Under his tutelage, you never experienced true failure. But after suffering your first, you worry that the general is disappointed in you. You worry that you don't have what it takes to be the person the general wants you to be. Now, show him what I have taught you. He'll be very proud of your progress. Tell him that with your sword, you will bring victory to the Xianzhou.
With...
Yanqing would never draw his sword on me to prove himself. I have confidence in him. This confidence is not a belief that he will win every contest. It is a belief that he will one day break free from the paradigm of victory and defeat and realize his true reason for wielding the sword. The pleasure of swordsmanship, the saving of life, and the dispatchment of enemies. This truth must be discovered by himself. No one can teach it to him. Now is the time for him to take that step.
General,
Break free from victory and defeat? Those are just empty words to comfort the dead. and the defeated. Think of your crushing defeat at Dragon Prayer Terrace. Think of how you felt then, teetering on the brink of death. If the sword of that Stellaron hunter had pierced your flesh, you wouldn't be standing here pondering the meaning of victory and defeat. Now is the time to break all your chains. Draw your sword on your master, to the general who is trying to imprison you. Draw your sword.
General, allow me to demonstrate my swordsmanship. I hereby challenge you. Apyra, I challenge these swords to battle!
Young fool. How? None of that matters anymore. And now you wish to throw down the gauntlet. Very well. In your own... Your swordplay, every stroke and sway, I've committed it all to memory. Now, allow me to demonstrate. With merciless intent, how powerful I am.
No, Yanqing. Conceal your form behind your intentions. Don't fall for their distractions.
Understood.
Can I have fun this time?
Sword, heed me! Punish evil! All will be revealed.
More enemies.
Nowhere to run.
Lend me strength.
Stand down. All in. Tedious.
This combat needs optimizing. All things in this world have creation. To guard and defend. Crush them.
All will be revealed.
I see through you. Lend me your strength.
I failed. One hit, one stroke of luck, one victory.
Impressive. I am bested.
Ew, it's about time we got this guy into the gourd.
General.
I know what you wish to say, Yanqing. We can move past the melodrama.
Then, to the rest of you, thank you for bringing me out of that daze. Especially you, Miss Sushang.
Why does everyone that gets heliobust love to apologize for it? You're the victim here. They're the ones stirring up chaos. It should be me thanking you for holding back during our battle. Or maybe, just maybe, it's due to a sudden skill improvement? Don't you think?
Haha, right. Conscious Sushong is pretty badass. We're gonna need to get you a front page news story for this one. Heck, let's get some billboards!
So, you've made it your daily mission to tease me, huh?
With respect to this incident, what is your plan for posting on the Luofu's Ghostly Grove? Since it concerns the seat of divine foresight, I am hoping you could.
Well, about that. Let me discuss it with her first. Is everyone okay with this?
Thanks for covering for me. I'm so embarrassed.
All's well that ends well. We should hurry back and lock up Hyra in the evil binding matrix. There.
Well then, Yanqing and I...
Alright, let's get out of here.
Actually, I'm well aware of my own limits.
Come to think of it, we only needed one person to fetch reinforcements.
What? It's kinda embarrassing, but I was caught up in the moment. I guess I never thought it through.
Ugh. Sometimes I wonder whether your head's screwed on right. We needed...
Maybe, but my actions kept everyone safe, and that's what matters. Miss Huahua needed someone to look out for her, and little Gui is just a civilian. You shouldn't be putting yourself in risky situations. As for her, after weighing things up in my head, it made the most sense for only me to stay put.
If I still had my tail, I wouldn't be slowing everyone down.
Sorry, Huahua. I didn't think it through. You were never a burden.
It's not your fault, Miss Sushong. It's just... I've been wondering... how can someone... Forget it. We should get some...
double speed. Trickier to crack.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Have fun. Can I have fun this time? I see through you. Wait for the tiles.
Don't mess with me. I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
This combat needs up. This is double speed. Awaken. Creation.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Double speed. Double speed.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Double speed. Awaken. Creation. Yin and yang. Double speed.
double speed.
Pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Eternal sleep is not the event.
All will be revealed.
Battle is unavoidable. Moment. Lend me your strength.
Nowhere to run.
Don't get complacent.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! That's your job!
Annihilate.
too! Help me with your trap!
You chose the wrong enemy.
Ready for death.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength!
Don't get complacent. Eternal sleep.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! I want to protect everyone too! Help me with your trap!
Stand down.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Tedious. All will be revealed. Flame. Ready for death.
Lend me your strength.
Stand down. For your own skin. Tedious. All will be revealed. Flame.
Lend me your strength.
Nowhere to run.
Eternal sleep.
Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Let's settle this. Don't get complacent.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Eternal sleep is dead.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
All will be revealed.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
Receive divinity.
Good as new.
Repent.
You took the bait.